a rabbit for dinner. A well-prepared rabbit stew can serve up to 6. I had become crepuscular after my mother and I moved into his house. Rabbits, as prey animals, are constantly aware of their surroundings. Grandfather sat at the head of the table and said grace. Asked for forgiveness from my mother, who had threatened to kill him with the cast iron pan earlier in the day. And for me, because he believed I had been touched by the devil. When a rabbit is born, it is blind. Its panoramic vision allows it to see predators in all directions. The only blind spot is in front of their nose. The rabbit's pelt, which was black and white, and now dabbed with red, hung over the sink. Tio offered to teach me how to skin an animal clean. After that, we ate in silence. In the background, the television played reruns of MASH. I recognized voices. There was a commotion and there was a scare. Houlihan thought she might be pregnant by the horrible man that she loved. They killed the rabbit to find out the truth. My mother will sometimes breathe like a rabbit. Grandfather says there have to be sacrifices. I breathe like a rabbit. Soft rabbit. Rabbit who I named a silly name. Rabbit that fed all the men in the family that night. That winter, my mother and I were rabbits, watching and waiting.
Muertos. Syncopated entry over skeleton mosaic. They enter as they enter every time. Scaled shirts, pressed cigarette pants, cork clogs. They turn slightly eastward so the light hits them just so. Turn to face forward and it's lost, and glossy skull in Chanel black reflective omnipotence. They rise as ether, escalator forward one click at a time, and they're mid-living room now, surrounded on all sides by limestone walls, open fireplaces, copper-topped burning embers, wispy rose flames. And the dog hears whispers, scampers this way and that. The cat just sits, time-warped and seen, stares at them, slit pupil, sideways glance. They've been here before. The goldfish are oblivious, swim left and right, and clock turns 12, turns 1, turns 2. Food forsaken to nether errands, they start eyeing each other. I think I could take that one says. I think I'll be okay. They're there above Chesterfields, above polar bear rugs, jade tabletops as the circus unfolds. The skeleton bird cicada burns somewhere not here. They go to grasp each other's hands as if ever before this worked, run nothings through nothings, run scared, blind, and insolvent, run to where they've known it to be uninhabitable but comfortable. The sliding glass doors are stained with blood, the door handles a slippery mess. They rise to ceiling, push forward into kitchen, into worry that the food's just not right, that something's off, that their forks breed sustenance as potato uncooked, pasta unboiled, Uranus unnerving. And so they're there once again, kitchen table underneath, and the meal's getting cold, wine's gone sour, nothing to do but stare at it all undone until the skeleton cools, entryway brings entry. They try to take a bite, but the food falls right through their fingers, just like it always does. It's poisoned anyway, they think to themselves. And then they start clawing at the tablecloths, air tears through chicken drumsticks and mashed squash. But nothing moves, nothing even alters. Try as they might, this is their sentence. And the deep sighs of ghosts don't count for much these days. They move from the kitchen like stopped drain and bundles of hair, tumble forward to those sliding glass doors, red as tainted red delicious, as spinning vestidos rojos, Dia de los Muertos, before the spiritual core was consumed by northern winds. Iron casts memories, casts fishing line deeper, and there's something they're trying to remember, something forcibly forgotten, and it's creeping there, just under the surface, that shattered glass and tossed out hope. When the end came, it came torrential, came as finality, came as slammed door. They're relieving traces, smatterings, carpet fiber wailings, and the no, no, no's. The cats were indifferent then, as they always will be, run traces of bloodied rime and paw prints along expensive tile. Feeding time was never so late. And that skeleton glows a foyer forever lasting, the paused entry pregnant with trepidation. And they're rocking back and forth now, trying to tumble out invasive weeds and ear-mite hotels, and the piles of detritus are of epic proportions and only growing bigger. So they pause and slowly move their cheeks westward to the outside scenery just beyond the street glass. Never noticed how orange flames are, like sun glow, construction cone, like tangerine sunset. Flames lapping home, consuming garden, barren fruit trees, blackened blades of grass. The pool evaporated, sits cavernous awaiting, meets snapping branches, ashen rain, and the inflatable yellow ducky now flat and bubbling, that duck has wings of fire. They want to reach beyond just now, ride those flames underground, eternal, just anywhere but here, a here of a nowhere saturated with horror stories. Flames come hither and take all and all at once. Flames come to deconstruct prison walls and mason jar. They spit glass to reconstruct vases which never held flowers. Lap at honey dew when the bees are already dead. Wrap shadows in white linens under oceans under downpour. But the desert dry wood has been cured, and the flame retardant safety is their captor. So they watch as the flames devour all but one. And those tears at the ready flow powder trails down flushed cheeks. And they're reaching for consolation from each other, but only pass through time and time again. And so a floating sadness ensues, and haunted hearts meet haunted minds, and the windows behind windows offer naught but blackened curtains, and in the whiteness, a choking, intentional, and everlasting. The skeleton grows radiant ember, and that entry, come entry, never come exit.